captain by a hook with a red beard. Captain by a hook with a red beard.
Yes, sir. Revive. Sorry about that again. Just started over today. Didn't get too far. Don't know what the hell going on with this BS. Anyway, beautiful show for you today. Updates on some NFL playoff news. Uh, I don't know what's going on. Headphones cracking. Crack-a-lackling. Baltimore. Got a homie in Maryland hit me up and said, hey, man, you was talking about you don't know if it's a weather game or not. It's snowing like a MNF out here. So definitely look for some bad weather going diggity down this weekend in the Baltimore Texans. Baltimore Texans. Wait. Hold on, man. Hold on. Yeah, Baltimore Texans game. Lines moved to -9.5 to the Ravens. Total still at 43 and a hook. Told you to take the over 45. I don't know how bad this weather's gonna be, man. Definitely scurry. Scurry. Everything's going bananas, man. Hopefully we can get through this show here today. I want to recap last night's action in the college basketball. Everything I needed to happen happened, both for last night's bets and for some futures that I am holding. Also, want to dive deep into the Wooden Award, hence the title Wooden Award on this video. Um, Man, there's some ballers, some shot callers doing the damn thing halfway through January. They can continue the pace, if they can continue this, if they can get better, who the hell knows? There's a kid in Tennessee, Dalton Connect. I want to talk about. Um, I put a little small uh, lunch for the crew money on the young man to win Wooden Award at plus 5,500, and then boom, I look up and Zach Edey drops what 33 and 19 or something crazy like that, 33 and 14. So definitely want to dive into some of the guys that I've given out already in the Wooden Award and see where they stand. Uh, I picked horribly wrong in the beginning of the season. Donovan Clingan, who I also want to talk about. Coin flip for tonight's game against Creighton is the exact phrase coming out of UConn. Will definitely play in this Saturday's game against Villanova. I'm guessing if he doesn't play tonight. Um, I got a lot of tickets on him to win the Wooden Award, and he's been disappointing even when he has played. I know he was dealing with a foot injury before the season. Felt like kind of right when he started getting his feet right and everything was rolling, he got injured again. So definitely, probably not gonna win the Wooden Award. Probably not gonna have enough games. And probably not gonna be healthy enough to play at his best. However, I will talk about him. And then Hunter Dickinson, another guy that I gave out. I mean, he's just been absolutely disappointing. I also want to talk about Kansas. They get the victory last night, beat Oklahoma State. Shout out to them. But they got some problems, man, on the offensive side, and I got some stats to prove it. I just been screaming about them having offensive problems. I know last night they put up 90 against Oklahoma State. We'll have to see if that continues. I think it's 3 people on their team are responsible for over 70% of their points. That is no good. And you see the shirt. Syracuse. They're going to beat your ass and tell you about it. Them in Pittsburgh got a little feisty last night. Definitely going to recap the night that was. It was a beautiful night in college basketball. A bunch of overtime games, bunch of close games. And guess what? Tonight looks like it's going to be even better. Bunch of huge games tonight. I got 5 bets and a possible. Still thinking about this USC plus the 19.5. Gonna be a good one. But there's a lot of in-region games too. I'll get to that in a minute. Teams in the same state, teams in the same city, playing today. So definitely we'll recap last night, talk some Wooden Award, preview tonight, give out the bets, get the hell on up out of here. This is Captain by a Hook with the red beard. I'm Rowan Donaghy, aka Rowan Dives, going live on a beautiful, freezing, hazardous cold down here in the south. Wednesday, the 17th of January, baby. And this is a morning show, and we're gonna dive right into it with a recap of yesterday. You have Tennessee. Dalton Knecht, 39 points, 8 rebounds. Definitely gonna talk him Wooden Award. 39 points this game. I'll talk about them. I was about to give you the whole rundown now, but let's just recap yesterday. They beat Florida by 19. Florida was one of those teams I thought could make some noise in the SEC. Hasn't happened yet. Maybe they make a run and maybe have a great SEC tournament. But as of now, I don't think we see this Florida Gators team in the big tournament. Akron, they continue to be great. 20 and 14 from Freeman, their best player. Xavier, last night was a game for both of these teams, pivotal. Xavier taking on Butler. The line was 5.5. I told you I'm gonna keep my eye on the 5.5. I really wanted to see how both of these teams are gonna play, and it kind of happened exactly how I thought. Butler getting this loss, probably going to fall into the bottom half of the Big East, whereas Xavier getting this win and the 20-point win they got over the weekend, um, kind of slingshotting their way into some bubble talk. They're definitely a dangerous team, only 9 and 8, but I can see them having a amazing the next 2 months, and then even being dangerous in the Big East tournament and becoming one of those first four in, last four in, whatever the hell they call those teams that play on Tuesday and Wednesday. North Carolina State, they were down most of this game by double digits to Wake Forest. This game was Bernanners, Bernanas. I'm sure you've seen the memes of the North Carolina State player with no class flipping off the ref while they're up with the game's over. Some people just don't know how to win. Sore winner, sore loser. I thought it was disgusting. Everybody on Twitter is saying it's the best meme since memes was memes. I think that's a little disgusting. I don't know what the hell. I'm not even going to say his name. He did have 21 points, however. So shout out to him. But North Carolina State with a comeback victory against Wake Forest. A bunch of ejections in this game. The North Carolina coach, get him the hell out of here. Bunch of drama going on in that game. And then, of course, we all saw the meme. I'm sure you've seen it by now of the North Carolina State player flipping off the refs. I thought it was tasteless. Oogly. Didn't like it. Anyway, Cincinnati, they take down number 19 TCU in overtime, 4-point victory, 81-77. They're storming the court in Cincinnati, baby. Alabama, I told you watch out for them. They get a huge 18-point win over Missouri, bringing that to 4 wins in a row. Alabama's definitely going to be a team to watch out for the rest of this SEC play. Dangerous offensive team put up 93 points last night. The Orangemen, my Orangemen, Syracuse, baby, 69-58 victory over Pittsburgh. The over didn't even come close, but the money line, cha-ching, bang, bang, chicken wang, cha-chaga-chang, pootie-tang. I don't know. Syracuse, baby, getting the damn job done on the money line. Purdue, baby, 19-point victory over in-state rival Indiana. Indiana fans in shambles. Zach Edey, 33 points, 14 rebounds. We'll talk about him when it comes to the Wooden Award and the window that we all missed to bet him. He was about even money before the season, about minus 170, somewhere around there. I looked this morning, he's minus 500. Nobody's won back-to-back or even 2 Wooden Awards since Ralph Sampson in the early 80s for Virginia. Zach Edey looking to make history. A rich what? A rich man. Richmond, baby, getting the 2-point victory. I just like saying rich what? Richmond. For all my young cats that grew up on Coach Crowder, Indiana State continuing to be elite on offense. 88-66 victory over Missouri State and Kansas State. Speaking of games, they took on Baylor last night. This game was close all the way through. I never saw it get over 5 points either way. I just was kind of score watching. Final and overtime was 68-64. Kansas State, Baylor. Kansas State made some late free throws to ice it. Another overtime game. Charlotte, they beat Rice by 2. And then if you're looking at the A10, look no farther than Dayton. They got a kid named Deron Holmes the second. I mean, this guy is an absolute baller. Dayton wins 70-65, rightfully so. They have a 21 next to their name. Deron Holmes the second, 29 points, 14 rebounds, and 4 blocks. An absolute stud. This definitely reminds me of the 2019-2020 Dayton team with Opie Toppin. And the sad news about that is I I got a hunch. Election year, the politics, the BS. They can care less about college basketball. They're already dropping seeds of COVID. Uh, is every time Dayton a good team, the tournament gonna get canceled? That is a question for another day. Um, Speaking of which, the coach that I'm talking about, Rick Pitino, did not coach last night due to COVID. Seton Hall ran away with that game. They went on a 28-0 run. 14-0 run to end the first half. The game was 24-24. 14-0 run to end the first half. 14-0 run to start the second half. And believe it or not, St. John's never quit. Got it back within 15. Ended up losing by 15. But boy, were they down a lot. Like I said, 28-0 run in the middle of that game. Seton Hall, baby, atop of the Big East, 6-1 in Big East play, 80-65 win over St. John's. BYU, they took on Iowa State. Number 20 BYU, number 24 Iowa State. This Big 12 basketball, baby. Oh, and it's a gauntlet this season. Uh, I don't know. We can get into that another day. I was about to say maybe the realignments aren't so bad, but man, the Pac-12, I'm gonna miss it. I'm just gonna miss it. Watching UCLA take on Rutgers is never going to excite me. But BYU, Iowa State, BYU, 15-point win, getting the damn job done, 87-72. And now this is a funny one. Penn State, baby, Big Ten basketball moving on up. They beat the number one team in the Big Ten, giving Wisconsin their first loss. They're now 5-1 in Big Ten play. I just gave Wisconsin their flowers yesterday, and they said, we don't want them. Keep your stinking flowers. We stink. No, I'm kidding. But Penn State, baby. Uh, damn it. What's that word? The crowd was on the damn. I can't think of what it's called when they stormed the court. Penn State, baby, 4-point win over Wisconsin, had the game in the bag. Arkansas, Arkansas, they took on Texas A&M last night, get the 1-point victory, 78-77. Trayvon Mark, Houston transfer, he drops 35 points in that game. Beautiful. Taylor for Texas A&M dropped 41 points, the tale of two players. That was beautiful. Georgia Tech. Shout out to Damon Stoudemire, one of my favorite first-year coaches. I used to love what he did with the Pacific program in the WCC. Now he is in the ACC, coaching Georgia Tech. And boy, this team fights and they scrap and they ain't gonna quit. They beat Clemson on the road at Clemson in double overtime, 93-90. PJ Hall for Clemson drops 31 and 17 in a losing effort. The story in the last two games for Clemson is free 3-point shooting not falling. I think I saw a stat where they're like 3 for 39 the last two games beyond the arc. Hey, kids, uh, attack the rim. They did put up 90 points. It was double overtime. Somebody's attacking the rim. Anyway, Kansas, baby, 90-66 over Oklahoma State. Georgia. I told you watch out for them Georgia boys. Georgia, one of the most surprising teams to me this season. They get a 5-point victory over South Carolina. And watch out now. The UNLV running Rebels of Las Vegas. They get a road victory over Boise State, upsetting Boise State 68-64, keeping it in the Mount West. Colorado State struggles with Air Force. They end up pulling away in overtime. That game, boy, did they get lucky. I think they were down 2 with 20 seconds. Isaiah Stevens gets the steal. They make a layup to tie it up, force overtime, end up walking away with it in overtime with a 9-point win. But boy, Colorado State, it should not have been that close. Come on now. Y'all need to wake up. Y'all supposed to be special this year. Y'all start off the season 13-0, covered every damn game, and now y'all just lollygagging in conference play, keeping it in the Mount West. Fresno State, they get the 3-point win over San Jose State, and then the game of the night, if you ask me, New Mexico blowing out Utah State. Utah State did make it close late, got it within 9 with about 7 minutes left. New Mexico would not let off the gas. 99-86 victory for New Mexico. They got a true home court advantage. Shout out to them. I do have the first future I ever made, if you remember watching this show back in November, was New Mexico to win this. I also got San Diego State and Colorado State. I'd rather Colorado State to win. I got a huge amount of tickets with some huge numbers on Colorado State. But shout out to New Mexico. I needed Utah State to get some losses. They take their first loss in Mount West basketball. The future on New Mexico looking decent. Colorado State looks a little good. Tonight, we get a gem with San Diego State taking on Nevada. Love some Mount West basketball. Last year I was locked into Big East. This year I'm locked into the Mountain West. As far as just futures go, getting lost in the sauce. But yes, sir, rocking and rolling. Can't wait to talk about tonight. But first, let's dive into the Wooden Award here on Captain by a Hook with the Red Beard, presented by Stare Down Sports, baby. Let's pull up some of these odds. I don't want to talk a little bit about it. Dalton's Connect, 39 points last night, 36 points the game before. And shout out to Rex, shout out to the JCP. Both of them boys doing their damn thing. Dalton Connect, man, 39 points last night, 36 points the game before, 28 points the game before. He's plus 5,500 right now to win the Wooden Award. And I think he has a chance to do it. I think he's only going to get better the more comfortable he gets in the SEC. I think he's going to have a chance here before January's up to drop 50, which would be amazing. And I was like, man, if he keeps playing like this, da da da, and then I look up and Zach Edey drops 33 and 14 and a victory over Indiana. So it's kind of sad because you know Zach Edey's the favorite. He's minus 500. It's it's hard to bet against him. But if anybody can do it, I think Dalton Connect has the chance to do it. All he has to do is keep dropping 40 points a game, which I know. I know. It ain't easy being greasy, but he's honestly their number 1, 2, and 3 offensive threat on Tennessee. A lot of pass first guys over there with the Volunteers. He's definitely their number 1 option. And also, this kid has no conscience. I mean, I've seen him just drain threes, just drain them. I don't even know how to describe it. I've seen him hit 5 threes in a row like it's nothing. Back to back to back to back. Oh, the close game? Not anymore. We up 12. Timeout? I thought so. Anyway, Dalton Connect plus 5,500. One of the things I do think about this kid, I think this would be the best number you can get. You look at guys like R.J. Davis, Kyle Filipowski, and Hunter Dickinson, who are all above them. I think Hunter Dickinson's going to start falling here. He did have a decent game last night at 21 and 7. I got a long shot ticket on Hunter Dickinson before the season. I thought he'd be a lot better with Kansas. Turns out, I thought it was Juwan Howard, the reason he didn't progress. Turns out he just settles for the little baby hook. Soft. I don't know. Not a fan of Hunter Dickinson. Him playing with Kansas showed me his true colors. I thought it was Michigan's fault and it's Juwan Howard's fault. He was playing like that. But it turns out that's just how he's built. He did get 21 points and 7 rebounds, but when you compare that to Zach Edey's 33 and 14 and Dalton Connect's 39, uh, it really has no comparison. He's the second favorite right now, plus 1,200. He'd have to show me a lot to even be in the conversation. Kyle Filipowski, he plays for Duke. Haven't heard anything about him. Not sure what he's doing this season. I mean, Duke's good. I had him, if you watch yesterday, number 5 in the nation on my power rankings. Uh, Man, lines are moving. I just saw UConn tonight against Creighton just moved from 5.5 to 6.5. That's one bad thing about doing a morning show. Lines kind of be moving a lot. Some numbers I give out are obsolete. Wanted to jump on UConn at 5.5. I don't really like it at 6.5. I don't know. We'll get to the bets in a little bit later. I'm just looking at my bet slip, watching stuff. Jump around, Mallet. Mallet. UMass. Shout out to them. I got them at 115. You can get them at 140 right now. Again, we'll get to the bets in a minute. Want to continue talking a Wooden Award here on Captain by a Hook. Uh, and then RJ Davis. This is a big man award, and that's the one thing that does scare me about Dalton Connect. He's on the wing. You'll never see a point guard win this award. I'm sorry. He'll have to be like some Magic Johnson. He'll have to be dropping 30, 20, and 10 every game. And I don't see any point guard doing that. RJ Davis, as great as he's been, it's been a collective unit with North Carolina. It is not like Tennessee where you can just point to Dalton Connect or Purdue where you could just point to Zach Edey as the difference maker. Um, so that's what I would do right now. If you don't already have ticket on them, Dalton Connect plus 5,500. I do want to talk a little Donovan Clingan. I have a bunch of tickets on him. Sadly, I don't think he has any chance to win. Like I said, he's a coin flip to come back tonight. He's all the way down to 250 to 1. I got tickets on him back when he was like 25 to 1 and stuff like that. Just sad tickets. Sometimes I wish the book would just count it as a loss and take the tickets. I don't even want to look at it no more in my bet slip. I know it has no chance of winning. Anyway, a bunch of good names on this list though. Bunch of great players this year. You're looking at Jalen House. He's 250 to 1 as well. Boy, is he the engine that gets New Mexico running. Deron Holmes the second. He's 150 to 1. Just talked about him with Dayton. He had 29 and 14 last night. David Jones for Memphis. Not a bad choice, 120 to 1, but it's definitely Zach Edey or against the field. You can look at all of these long shots, and I don't know. Jadion D, San Diego State's best player, Tristan Newton, UConn's best player. The fact that Kevin McCullers is this high on the list, I mean, this guy is the most overrated player I've ever seen. If it wasn't for Kansas' success, I don't even think he'd be on this list. He dropped 18 points last night. Oh, he's a superstar. Dun, mm, 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 mm. I don't know. Not a fan of Kansas this year or Kevin McCullers. I think he's the most overrated player at Kansas since since the King and the Duck. But anyway, let's preview some of the games tonight. Like I said, a lot of good games going diggity down. Oops. This is Captain by a Hook with the red beard, presented by Stare Down Sports. Oh, Baltimore snow. I was like, what the hell is that say? Be writing stuff down a little crooked, a little fast, if you know what I mean. If you know what I mean. All right, let's get it piggity popping. Like I said, some great games tonight, some great matchups, some great in-state rivalries going diggity down. Let's get to some games I don't have a bet on that I am interested in. You got Miami. They're hosting Florida State. This line just moved as I went to it. It was Miami minus 7.5 at home. Now it's Miami minus 6.5. Florida State getting some love. I'd be on Miami or nothing. Although Florida State, Lenny Hamilton, they are back to the Florida State ways of late, a team that you are, should be scared to play, a team that I think they're going to be a great, I don't know. I think they'll fizzle out in the tournament. But Florida State's back, man. The last few seasons, they've been obsolete since COVID. Glad to see them back being competitive. I'm on Miami or nothing in this game, minus the 6.5. Nebraska, baby. I don't know who wants to do it. Money lines plus 116. Nebraska's been one of the best Big Ten schools this season. Excuse me. They're taking on a tough Rutgers team though, at home in New Jersey. Always scares me to take team like Rutgers at home. They just have one of those core fan bases that's going to show up. The players play harder at home. Rutgers at home -2.5. I'd take Nebraska, but staying away from that one. And in this one, I'm this close to betting it. Probably won't bet it though. Like I said, I got some futures on some teams. At this point, I'm kind of just rooting for some money lines, man, because of the futures like Colorado State last night. And boy, did they make me sweat. But Kentucky, -6.5. I definitely would lay the points at home against Mississippi State. Kentucky coming off an overtime loss. I think they're hungry to get back in the win column. But yeah, Kentucky -6.5. Definitely like laying the points with them. However, I got a bunch of bets tonight. Like I said, it's probably getting shorter. I don't know if I take UConn at 6.5. Like them at 5.5. But anyway, any day. Virginia, they're taking on Virginia Tech. 3.5 goes to Virginia at home. Virginia has been disappointing on the road. However, they are still the same Virginia team at home. Yes, sir. My bad. Laughing at my boy JCP in the comments. That was wild. Very wild. Disgusting, if you ask me. Um, Virginia minus the 3.5, taking on Virginia Tech. I'm staying away from this game strictly because Virginia could win by 20, lose by 20, and I wouldn't be able to call it either way. This game isn't an in-state rivalry, but it's as close as it gets to it. Old Miss. Oh, to Mississippi, and Chris Beard traveled to Baton Rouge, taking on Louisiana State University. That's LSU for the non-knowers. Go Tigers! LSU -2.5 at home. If I had to bet this, I'd take Old Miss as the road dog on the money line +125. I don't think LSU is ready for this game. And when I say that, they're a good team. They remind me of Syracuse this year, where certain teams I do think they can get, but Old Miss is a very good coach team. Old Miss only has one loss on the season. I don't know if this is a spot LSU can really get funky with them. Um, but I'm gonna stay away from it because who knows? LSU is starting to gel and get cohesive on the offensive and defensive end. A couple other games here before I get to my bets. Bets, baby. Robert Morris -8.5. Why the hell not? Detroit Mercy, yes, they are that bad. Let's get to some late games. West Virginia +12.5 intrigues me heavily. I don't think that Oklahoma is this good to beat this team by 13. I think West Virginia keeps it within 10. I would love to take the points with West Virginia. West Virginia +12.5. That actually might be something that I have to do. UCF taking on Texas. We just watched UCF beat Kansas at home. Now they're on the road at Texas and Austin. I don't know. Texas is a good team, but I haven't seen them really blow anybody out this season. 8.5 is a lot of points if you're messing with Texas, especially in a low total game, 138.5. Sheesh, I don't know. It's going to be up to UCF's offense. Their defense will show up where their offense be able to get some points. They'll have to put up about 70, about 60, 70, 65, 70, I think, to stay with Texas. I think Texas will get in the 70s for sure. That's just me. The Green Wave of Tulane, they travel to UAB. I love what Ron Hunter's done with this Green Wave program. No thoughts on that game. Auburn, they're taking on Vanderbilt. Auburn's been a hot, hot team. I got them at number 8 on my top 10 list. They're laying 11.5 on the road in Vanderbilt. Just feels like a lot of points. I will say this, every single one of their wins has been by double digits. So if you think they're going to win, chances are they win by double digits. Chances are they win by 12 or more. 11.5 would definitely be the bet if I was betting this game. Would definitely lay those points. Auburn, deep, deep, deep team. Love what they're doing. Love what Bruce Pearl is doing. Listened to an interview of him yesterday. Uh, got me going about the Auburn Tigers. Shout out to them. This is a scary game though. This is gonna come down to will the boys show up. You're feeling undefeated. You're feeling like nobody can touch you, and then you go play Vanderbilt. Who knows what the hell's going to happen? UCLA, the mighty Bruins, they're taking on Arizona State in Tempe. I honestly would lean UCLA plus the points, but man, can you not trust UCLA? I still don't trust Arizona State, even though they are second in the Pac-12 with I think a 4-1 record. Definitely just I can't lay the points with them. Also can't take the points with UCLA. But if I had to, just out of I don't know. Both of these teams are near and dear to my heart. Spent a lot of time in Tempe, and my whole life kind of been a UCLA fan just because of the allure. And that's what sucks. The allure of UCLA is the mighty, mighty Pac-12, the mighty, mighty Bruins, the Conference of Champions. Now you're going to have a Big Ten UCLA team? Now you know that ain't right. Gonna pick the Providence. They're laying 9.5 on the road at DePaul. These scary hours, if you ask me. Texas Tech traveling to Houston. Houston has struggled early in the Big 12. I don't know their exact record. I do know they have 2 losses in a row in the last 2 games. They're still number 5 in the nation. They're laying 12.5 tonight. I think that is way too much. Texas Tech keeps it close, I believe. And I'm just going to stay away from this game. I don't think Houston has the goal to beat a team by 13 in this Big 12. I think they're going to struggle until about February, honestly, till they really get their feet wet. So they really look in the mirror and like, hey, we're gonna have to bring it like it's a tournament game every game because that's all they know. They know easy schedule, tournament gets hard. Now they got to realize you're playing tournament games every day in the Big 12. Texas Tech, number 25 in the nation. I think they got something to prove. They're playing number 5. They're only traveling a few hours. There's going to be some fans in Houston with some Texas Tech shirts on. Shout out to them. And this is one. This is a good transfer over to the bets. Uh, I got this one in my bet slip. Haven't taken it yet. Not sure. You got USC. They're plus 19.5 taking on Arizona down there in Tucson. Arizona has been shaky as of lately, but now Arizona is at home taking on a USC team that has struggled offensively. No go-to scorer. Boogie Ellis is a great facilitator, but not a great shot maker. He will take them though when he feels like he has to. But this thing could get ugly for USC, but it also, even the back door, probably be wide open. 19 is just a whole hell of a lot of numbers. If I had to bet this game, which I want to bet this game, I just haven't pulled the trigger on it yet. USC plus the 19.5 would be the bet for me. I think even if Arizona blows this team out, you're looking at an 18-point game. Something freaky right around this number. As they say, Vegas usually knows. Plus 19.5 on USC would be the lean. Just too big of a number. I do think Arizona gets out and runs and is up 15 most of this game. But we've seen it last night. We've seen it this season. Even when you're up on a team 2022, they college kids, man. They got some heart. They come battling back late and make it a 15, 12 point game. And then you just kind of play it out from there. So plus 19.5 on USC might be the way to go on that one. Anyway, this is Captain by a Hook with the red beard. I am Rowan Donaghy, aka Rowan Dobbs, presented by Stare Down Sports, baby. Let's dive into the bets that I have placed. You're looking at Massachusetts, baby. UMass. They're on the road taking on Loyola Chicago. This game was plus 115, then it was plus 140. Now it's plus 136 on the money line. Give me Frank Martin and UMass to go on the road and get an upset win over Loyola Chicago. Love what this UMass team has done this season. Think they continue to roll. Give me UMass plus 136 on the money line. I mean, if you want to take the 3.5, I feel like that's guaranteed. Even if UMass loses, it's going to be a 1 or 2 point game. So I'm going to take the plus 136 on the chance that UMass wins it by 1 or 2. Going to be a close game regardless. Nothing's guaranteed in this world, but I think this is a 1 or 2 point game either way it goes. I'm going to jump on UMass plus 136. Whew. The next game I had was Connecticut minus 5.5. It's moved to 6.5. I honestly don't know if I like the 6.5. I did the same yesterday though with New Mexico and Utah State, and it ended up not mattering at all. New Mexico won by 15. Donovan Clingan coin flip for this game. Even if they don't have him, they have a great defensive presence to rock with Kyle Burner. I think Creighton's just struggling. We watched them at home against St. John's only win 66-65. I think this UConn team, I've said it all season. I said it all last season. They have a third gear that they can get to. I think they get to that third gear tonight at home and just roll away with this game. I think it's like an 8 to 12 point game. 6.5. F it. Why not? If I like it at 5.5, it's crazy how that 1 point or that half a point movement can just scare the hell out of you sometimes. But I'm gonna go UConn minus 6.5. F it. Why not? The next game I have, we're moving over to some Big Ten action. Oh man, gotta scroll for this one a little bit. Northwestern, baby, they're hosting Maryland. Maybe it's me, maybe it's Maybelline. I'm fading Maryland every chance I get. It bit me in the butt over the past weekend. I forget who. Illinois minus 8.5 on Sunday. Got the heebie-jeebies just turning the page and looking at it. Maryland coming off of that huge win against Illinois. Definitely think they have a letdown spot. I don't think they're good enough to even beat Illinois. I don't know how Illinois let that happen. Come on, Brad. Talking to Coach Underwood. Get your team together. Anyway, Northwestern minus the 3.5. I'd lay those points. I am laying those points. I'm telling you to bet it. Northwestern minus 3.5 hosting Maryland. Now this is a big number. I think it covers easily though. Give me North Carolina. I think they're the best team in the nation. They're minus 20.5 against a team who I think is the worst team ever. Louisville. Yuck, right? Disgusting. Give me North Carolina minus the 20 and the hook. I think this is the 30-point win. We just watched North Carolina beat Syracuse by 40. I think Syracuse is head and shoulders above Louisville. North Carolina also at home for this one. Give me North Carolina to win this one also by 30. Somewhere around the same score, 160. Might even be a 40-point game now I'm thinking about it. I love laying the 20.5 at home with North Carolina against a Louisville team. One of my favorite bets tonight. And then I told you about USC plus the 19.5. Kind of broke that down a little earlier, a few minutes ago. And then this is one of my favorite bets also. Late game, got to stay up for it. I stayed up last night for New Mexico and Utah State. Not sure if I'll stay up for this one, but give me San Diego State laying the 6.5 at home, taking on Nevada. Nevada is a dangerous team, but San Diego State, man, they are hungry. They are starving. And they coming off a loss against New Mexico. San Diego State comes out ready to roll, ready to rock. They're at home, laying a 6.5. Think this one hits easily. Matter of fact, somebody, anybody, hit me with the horn. Franklin, Earl, Beardwinaton, best bet of the day. It's the late game, baby. Give me San Diego State minus 6 and a hook. 6 and a hooker. Give me 6.5 on San Diego State. Best bet of the night. Kind of just told you why. Coming off the loss at home. I think San Diego State's one of the best teams in the country. Definitely think they will be a dangerous team in the tournament. Sorry, in the NCAA tournament that I hope we have. Hearing news about COVID this early, it's just scares the hell out of me. Literally, give me flashbacks. Literally, can't just get the election over with, man. Why we gotta have a damn pandemic every election? Every election since I could remember, some bullshit been popping up. Sick of it, man. Sick of it, man. Anyway, San Diego State, bruh, minus 6.5. That's Franklin Earl's best bets of the day. Just to recap everything, we're going UMass on the money line. We're going UConn minus 6 and a hook. We're going Northwestern minus 3.5. We are going North Carolina minus 20.5. And we're going San Diego State minus 6.5. USC plus 19.5. If you like it, I love it. San Diego State minus 6.5. Franklin Earl, Beardwinaton's best bet of the day. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Thank you for the love, and thank you for the support. This is Captain Buy a Hook with the red beard, presented by Stare Down Sports. I am Rowan Donaghy, aka Rowan Dobbs, going live on a beautiful, beautiful, frigid, freezing Wednesday. It is the 17th of January, the 17th day of the year, 2024. Again, thank y'all for everything. And please take all these wagers at your own risk. And please, please gamble responsibly. Dobbs.